So on a performance vehicle, what is the difference between coilovers and lowering springs? That is what we're talking about in today's video. So we are talking more about the performance side of automotive. And who are we? We are Derek and Sally Tangmala. We're the owners of Auto Rehab 2, and we've been in the automotive industry, well, Derek has, for 15 plus years. We've owned our own shop as a couple for 7 years. So the reason why we're talking about this particular subject is because we got invited to the SCCA solo event in Phoenix on December 9th. That is coming up. So for those of you that don't know what that event is, Derek, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, the SCCA solo event, it's typically an event held in parking lots or on a racetrack. They often set cones up for a course. It's open to all levels of drivers, entry level, enthusiasts, amateurs. Everybody's welcome to come. But it's one of those events where horsepower is not the winner all the time. And so oftentimes suspension is one of the biggest components here. So we're talking today about lowering springs versus coilovers, and we're gonna give a brief overview of some of the advantages there. When people are setting their cars up after they've gotten a little bit more power, they want to handle or they want to make the car look better, oftentimes the biggest thing they're trying to get rid of when it comes to the reason for suspension is tire gap or wheel gap. So this distance between the top of the tire and the fender is what we're talking about. Oftentimes, people will get lowering springs or coilovers to decrease this amount here. It makes the vehicle look better. It also will lower the entire vehicle, so a lower center of gravity allows you to turn better, so the body doesn't roll as much. And so we're kind of just showing the options. This vehicle is the Supra, obviously. There's factory suspension. It is not lowered. This is a factory wheel, factory tire, completely stock setup. However, when we're starting to get the car to handle better, we definitely would be looking at the different options between coilovers and lowering springs. Now, this vehicle out here is the Subaru that we're intending to take down there to the event. This is one of the cars that'll run. And here you can see the tire gap or wheel gap is very little. And this has brought the whole vehicle down, gives better center of gravity. So this is what we're trying to accomplish. And both ways, whether we do lowering springs or we do coilovers, we'll still accomplish the look. Now, my personal opinion, lowering springs feel a lot better. As far as daily driving, they're not as stiff. And so they definitely, in my personal opinion for a daily driver, feel good. They're significantly cheaper. They're around the $250 range to $289, somewhere in that range for good ones. There's cheaper ones, and all it is a spring that replaces your old spring on your factory strut. So it does not change the dampening or the response or any of that outside of a stiffer spring that will allow your car to have a lower center of gravity. They are a little stiffer than factory, so the ride is a little bit bouncier or stiffer. However, it does improve the way it looks, feels, and handles. So here we have a set of coilovers. These are on the cheaper end. They're a set of Racelands. Their basic setup is for the Subaru WRX. And I'm going to just show you some of the features of these. They definitely have a bearing style top mount for their bearing plate, which is a very good thing to have. And this allows for multiple adjustments. So as we adjust towards the top, we compress this spring, we're going to make it stiffer, and it also in turn will keep it at a certain height for longer. As we adjust this up, as we come down, it will let us come lower, but it also gets a little softer or bouncier. When you're trying to set a car up to run around the track, however, you kind of want to be low, but you want to be stiff. And that's where these Racelands for a cheaper budget coilover are pretty respectable, because you can increase spring rate by adjusting this up to make a stiffer rise so that you don't bottom out as quick. But they have an adjustment down here that allows the entire body to thread down into the body to adjust your ride height. So you can accomplish and lock it down. You can accomplish the spring rate you want with adjusting the height separate from your spring rate. This is a set we're going to run. Typically the more expensive coilovers will have better valving. They'll have dampening adjustability. These also have adjustability to adjust whether we're firm or soft as far as the dampening factor of it. So these are a fairly adjustable strut. They give you quite a few options for a very realistic price. These racelins, I believe, are only somewhere around $600. Coilovers, when you get to these, they do vary in price, and a lot of that variance has to do with the ride, because oftentimes people will go to a coilover and not exactly like the ride when they're daily driving it. On the freeway, they do pretty well. Having stiff suspension on the freeway gives a lot better stability, and it's not as annoying. Town, slower driving, sometimes to some can be a little annoying. What you're paying for and what you get is the adjustability of spring rate and ride height versus simply lowering with a little stiffness.
Hey, if you liked that video as much as I did, go ahead and push a like on this video, and do us a big favor, please share it with all of your friends. We would love to get all this information out to as many people as possible. Also, you can comment below and let us know how we did. Let us know what you thought about the content. Do you agree? Do you disagree? We love honest opinions. Lastly, subscribe to our channel so you get every new video that we drop every Wednesday. And thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it.